Greetings everyone, hello and welcome back once again as a new day is dawning and we continue onwards right away with our glorious city in plagues that we need to cure at some point. Now we have enough windows just in time really to get rid of this disaster here, and as we can see my hospital costs me 40 tons of windows. Glad I have that. Let's just find us a suitable location where we should have it. It definitely should be central, probably here close to the main road, I'm thinking, right? And with that, we can move it safely over there, this little block there, and squeeze us in a hospital just here by the main road. By the way, let's get rid of this farmer here and move this artisan over. This is what I said, you know. Never look out for the layout that much because you're gonna move around a lot of buildings anyway, and we are just doing this here. I would also like to make this one here a bit cuter looking, you know, so that this hospital has its own special entrance here where, you know, you have one-way direction only or something like that. Now with that, we're training some doctors. This is gonna take a bit of time, and by the way, with the hospital we also started to pave the road, so we could go ahead and do this right away as well, around the hospital at least, as it's one of my higher quality buildings now that we have in the city. Also here in the front, yeah, I'm probably gonna have with, you know, some flower bed or something, just something as a buffer in between to make it look nicer here along the main road. Now speaking about the problem that we have now with the plague, this should be gone. Unfortunately I cannot mobilize my workforce that much. It's on cooldown right now. We should be mobilizing that though. The doctors are out, 2 of them, and they're going to take care of the problem that we have. Let's continue with a bit of city expansion. So we have the main road here, and I would like to start connecting this main road now with the main road on the other side of the river. It's gonna be a bit of a pickle here because we need to build another bridge, but that's okay. And then we're basically gonna make this road all the way up here, and this doesn't need to be final per se, right? But I'm thinking that we have something ground over here then at some point. So I would like to probably have my road going like this. And then we have the main road here that we could connect in here also along the bridge with another main road just here. Right? And in between you have another city district. Here you have more city. In fact, we can continue with our city expansion right here. I'm just going to take this block and flip it. Right, so you do get a bit of more diversity out of that. And of course there's going to be service buildings again at some point, so it really doesn't matter. And let's make us a bigger block here once again with a little courtyard in the center. We could also have a bunch more buildings here. Nah, actually let's make here the closing, right? So this is going to be beach area again. So here I would just like to have some normal buildings again by the pig farms. That's the pig farmers living here now, close to that area. On the other side, we have the potato farms. Now, about those potato farms, we have a pretty big potato production out here. I'm still looking a bit low on the farmers. Oh yeah, I can see why.
Just say the word.
There are a couple of issues here. One is that those people are not particularly nice to me, even though I'm paying them a lot of money to make sure that we get the potatoes flowing. So let's get the police station going, and let's also get a fire station going. This should be enough. We still have a bit of wood left. I'm going to have a bunch more buildings here because we do need the workforce. How's it looking, by the way, on my fish? Fish is fine, schnapps is fine. Well, actually they are happy, right? I don't see the biggest issue here, but yeah, that's just how it goes. Let's also have a bunch more. So I can go ahead and have, let's make 2 more. We also have these guys here.
Exhausting.
And let's just have bunch more potato farms together with probably another schnapps distillery here, and then also another warehouse here for those guys, right? We have enough potatoes in. No, we don't. It's fine, right? We're producing more, in fact, and we're producing 11 tons of schnapps with that. And yeah, with all of my islands considering that, we have a total production of 27 right now, only 17 tons we need. But of course, that's still not enough. So despite me having not the best workforce, let's build another one. And have Industrious here, my new trade ship. Now we have the schnapps delivery already going, right? So this is fine. How much schnapps do we have now in New London? Yeah, we're capping out. We're capping this. By the way, also, let's upgrade the trading post while we're at it. There you go. Once again, adding a lot of storage. And also, it just looks nicer overall. Let's face it, right? And with that, I can also get rid of these potato farms here. Now, let's start with those. Let's not get completely rid of it for now, right? But we can get rid of a lot of them. And with that, hooray, we have more space. Over here, just along the main road, for more city expansion now. And yeah, city expansion it is. Wait a second, there's my there's my river. So we're probably gonna just along the river. Might be too tight. If I go with this. Do we go with higher density here? Yeah, let's go with higher density. There you go, right? This is a service sector. And then here along this one, we can also now continue with, yeah, actually, you know what? Let's get rid of them. Let's get rid of all of them. I don't care. I'm just gonna have my blocks then over here. Gonna make them blueprinted. And then we can also start with more buildings over there as well at some point. This looks nice. So this continues now the expansion of New London. We have 1,600 farmers. We should also start upgrading a bunch of them. But for now, let's just wait for these trade routes to kick in again. I think also we could sell some clippers so that we can purchase more shares down the road. Let's sell both of them. There you go. Diplomacy wise, this is the worrisome thing here, right? So 30 is really low now. He really doesn't like me. Let's try to bribe him. Okay, that was okay. But there's also nothing here I can do, unfortunately. Near certain. There you go. And she likes us really. Yeah, not this time, but we're at 70 with her. So this is fine. We could even go with no alliance. Pity. He likes my flattery again. There you go, Arthur. So good terms here, bad terms. So Carl, please don't declare war on me anytime soon. I want to have my free trade routes. Let's go back to the New World, right? To Manola. Not looking particularly happy, those people here right now. Probably because they would like to have a chapel. There you go. A chapel is something we can easily afford. Let's go ahead and build me, yeah, the first one over here. And we can have another one then over there at some, yeah, let's build it now. It doesn't matter. 10 tons of timber. That's it. And yeah, let's have this block on that side. Should still have plenty of coverage here from the marketplace, and the workforce we can then put to good use. Also, my building material clipper is now all the way down here on this very beautiful island that I'm gonna settle, of course. Right, island number 2, Mazaline it's called, or Mazayin. And Mazayin is really nice, especially for its oil that we have here. It also has mineral deposits, and it has coffee. And we're probably going to use this here for coffee. There you go. Propaganda-wise, I'm using full propaganda now on my consumption and of my income, right? And we could leave one for now, like if it's positive, save us the influence. Right? And with that, we're also at 6,000 there. Military progress.
You're a peculiar sort of genius.
He likes me even more. Look at the military progress though. we have 44 and she's 130. He likes it though that we use propaganda. So he actually likes everything that we do, right? Exploiting the workers using propaganda. He loves that. So we should be on better terms, but we're not for some reason. Can't change that.
Just say the word.
In the meantime, the glorious city of Manola gets its next production chains. Now we have the fish oil factory that I would like to, yeah, kind of like squeeze in somewhere here, where we can use them quite a few times. Like, this looks fantastic, honestly. And then probably one more here. And one more here should also work out. There you go. Right, so that's quite a lot of them. And with that, I could also have my fried kitchens in this area right away. I don't need to particularly boost them. I'm not too keen on that. I would really just like to squeeze them in here in this little rock, right? They're not using a lot of space. And they can really just stay around there. I'm probably going to need a second warehouse though, together with the fire station then, to make this block complete. And then we just need some farms. I need to make sure with the farms that we don't have the range of the fried plantain going all the way into this area. Right, so that's the maximum range, so I can safely build my plantations here without having to worry about crossing it. Otherwise, the transportation routes would be very long. with what we have right now. I don't need that many really. Also, they're not consuming a lot of space, especially if I go with this one. I'm not gonna boost them or anything like that, right? It's a very basic production that you can have, and then I'm gonna squeeze in here just like that, and then probably a bunch more like this. Probably the maximum that I'll ever need on this island, right? And there's more plantations than here. And on the, let's actually build them, right? So let's start with the warehouse, the fire station. Let's have, yeah, let's start with 2 fish oil factories, 2 kitchens, and also 2 plantain plantations. And that's already 4 tons of production that we have now for this. Easy peasy. Next in line, let's switch back to the old world, because here more clippers are coming out. And I would also like to sell them.
Awaiting new horizons.
Sir Archibald.
7.5. And then this one, and that's 15,000 that we made out of that. Thank you very much for this. Pleasure be doing business with you. We continue selling the soap. We continue selling the ships. That's a bunch of nice, good trade routes for us. Boost with income. Let's repair them, and with that we're closing in on the population that we really need. Do we really need more? Baffles the mind. I mean, you still have some fish left. It's a lot of farmers. Can't be true. Fishy.
Ready for a challenge.
Let's head back to Manola instantly. And we have the clipper waiting. We have a clipper down here. So I do have already 2 ships. By the way, Isabel's a mentor. She's buying weapons at a very good rate. Pays 900 per ton. That's a lot. For something that we can easily produce in the New World too. So that's going to be a juicy new opportunity for us to make money. Next in line, let's move up into the mountain area. Usually I like to have my alpaca farms here. This time though, I want to, you know, also consider using the dung for the alpaca then later. Once again, we need to have them close to a future hacienda at some point. So I'm going to have them here for now. You don't need that many once again, right? But you definitely do need a few of them. And I also want to easily move them around. The ability to move them around is very important for these to optimize the dung output. So in that case, we have one here. Let's just see if I take them in here. They do need 4 fields, which is quite a lot. There you go, right? And then we can easily copy this one to the other side. I would like to have another one here. We're not going to use... I think you can use the silos on these. Not entirely sure. Here. And another one here. We will need to adjust though, those fields. There you go. Having 4 fields here. And then I can do the same thing here again. That might stretch it a bit too far. Nope, it works. Perfect. Look at that. Maximized. And we can easily take the whole block and move it to another location right away as well. Let's start with them as well. I'm gonna have once again 2 alpaca farms. And with that we can already build the ponchodarnas, and I would also like to have them in this area here. Gonna make a full block of these over here. And build me some 2 of them. And yeah, that was a very successful day for Manola, as this day is already coming to an end. Having all the productions now, we can upgrade them to obreros right away, which we want to do as soon as possible. And as the new day is dawning, we can already go ahead and upgrade.
You reached a new milestone.
And getting some beautiful, colorful obrero buildings. Age of Independence it is as well. These people don't know what they hit, right? Just a couple of days they settled here and now already living in beautiful stone houses. Also, Paloma, introduce yourself, and with that, the airships. What I would like to start right away in Manola with that as well is starting the first clay production. That would be over here, together with 2 brick factories. And with that, we have the brick production started. With the money we made, let's purchase another share, this time from Arthur for 136. And this gives me even more share value, and with that a higher balance. Now we have shares of all 3 opponents, so depending on who performs the best, our share prices increase with that. Beryl, we could purchase another one, and I'm inclined to go ahead with that. She's got the best share value of all of them right now with 600 for only 130,000, so this is pretty nice. And with that, we're boosting now our balance to 7,000 per minute. that is what I would like to do. Of course, it comes at the cost of reduced relationship with them. So especially with Carl, it's hurting us the most. With the other tools, we can still afford it. We should still go ahead and also push our defenses. So I'm going to add a second flamethrower now to New London. That's really important, just in case we're getting into any surprise wars there. For the other islands, I'm not doing it just yet, as I don't think we're gonna need this. This one's close enough anyway, right, to New London to kind of like be protected by that too. Starting some defenses up there then as well. Wouldn't hurt us that much. Now, well, that's it. That's what I wanted to show. My destroyed district here. However, the plague is gone. The doctors can rest a bit, and I can use this to finally upgrade more people to workers, because holy cow, we do have a lot of farmer workforce in New London that is absolutely useless to me. So let's also upgrade a bunch of them here and here, and with that pushing more workers and then more artisans again. Another thing I would finally like to do is building me the docklands. That's going to be really important because we're going to need them as a trade republic, more or less. We're only allowed to trade and defend ourselves, and the docklands are going to be the prime focus for my import and export business. So let's just have this one somewhere over here. We can start building it right away, really, as we have everything for it. And then we're basically going to make us a big entrance here, right, that goes then to my city. In my industry zone, right? So we're gonna need some space here. There's gonna be lots of factory buildings here, but not high pollution or something. Just really that we have the docklands connected. The trading post can stay for a while, but we will need to move it at some point then as well. With docklands, we also get an additional loading wharf. So we have now the ability to have 2 ships docking at the same time, which we already use. Let's go ahead and start our first trading contract. We should once again start with that ASAP because we want to unlock more goods down the road. What's being locked for me right now, what we definitely will need at some point later, is down here my coal and iron, right? So we need to export at least 360 tons of any good to unlock us these. And with that also the ability to build us more export offices, right? So what should we start with our first good here? We're using soap, of course, to already sell. It's something that we usually have in high quantity, and yeah, I'm thinking about, I mean, timber we use a lot for selling ships, so this is also something I should be careful about. So in that case, the easiest one would be for me wood, and this is really just so that we have more modules unlocked, right, and with that more trade contracts. Let's just see what we can import with that. Really, we could, what is the soap, by the way? There is soap, right? It's not like I need the soap. I mean, yeah, I do need it because we make money out of that. So this is not a bad deal at all. And I can say let's take 100 tons for now, right, to get some 33 tons of soap out of that. 100 tons of logs means for the trade cycle, we do need to have a surplus of 5 per minute. We have 4 right now, so that can be easily achieved, right? Let's just build us another lumberjack hut. This is of course not a future-proof production because you just need to have the space for this, and lumberjacks hut just cost you a lot of space. Let's build this one here together with the warehouse, and with that we have now a nice comfortable surplus here of 10 tons per minute. Way more than what we need. With the right amount of money, I would also like to purchase yet another share. So with that we have 3 shares now of barrel, and this is leading to another 1,500 on my balance now. And with that we also get the influence, the unifier. Right, I don't know why it's the unifier, but in that case here, this gives me a bonus of island workforce per island. A lot of it too. And the cool thing is, it even gives me tier 3 and tier 4 workforce, which is just going to be very handy in the future. Now, we're back in Sinclair, because in Sinclair, I'm opting in for a new strategy now. We have over here our soap production, right, and our sausage production. And primarily, which is hurting me the most right now, my pig farms. Pig farms, like every agricultural building in this game, requires a lot of space. And I can't afford that all the time, or at least not on this island here. So New London will be about industry, will be about tech, it will not be about farming. So any kind of farming related buildings I'm gradually moving away, like the potato farms we did over here. Next in line is the pig farms. Now there's something really nice about the pig farms that we can explore now as well. Let's take this one here and copy it, simple as that, to the other side into Sinclair. We have our production over here, we got our farms over here. And we can have our pig farms over here just fine. Now there's one thing, and that is that those pig farms that we're building now, they require the silo, right, to really maximize their capacity. And the cool thing is we have the grain on this island, so we're producing grain that can be used for the pig farms right away for juicy silos. That's what I would like to do here right away. So for that, I'm gonna build me a couple more warehouses here, because this is kind of like going to be the area where we're having a lot of those pig farms then. And I can basically take it like this and then copy me this in like so. Let's just make sure that we have enough room here. This should be fine. There you go. And with that, we're also gonna add then a bunch of more pig farms over there, right? And you can also do the same thing. Let's copy it 2 times at least to the other side, so that we are kind of like, it's like a little Tetris puzzle that we have, right? If you squeeze it in like that, it should work. We'll just check it out. I'm gonna squeeze it in though here. We could also make it like this. This would require less. I think this might be even safer. And with that, let's just go ahead and also build us those farms here right away. We have the workforce, right? That's not the big issue here. And we even have then the bricks. Now we have the pigs as well. Let's just check it out. We got now some 12 tons.
Is out of control.
My total amount of pigs right now is 8 tons. So already we meet demand. But what we can do in addition now is we can add those silos here for the timber and the bricks. There should also be a new ship coming in with more bricks and steel beams and weapons as well, because I also want to fortify Sinclair with another flamethrower then here as well. But that's just for the future then. And with that, we can save workforce and also space. I can go ahead and also have even more of them over here then, right? So this is already too much, but I just want to make a statement here. We're gonna build a silo, right? Our very first one. And for that one, let's have it over here. There you go. This one, by the way, is nuts. So let's just have this one here. And with that, what we do have here now is a pig farm that is taking in grain. It's really not a lot of grain though, and it's gonna double the output of this pig farm here. Without additional workforce, without additional fields I need to have. Very good stuff. Okay, Archer. How dare you purchasing one of my shares? I'm not gonna allow this. Now finally we can adjust the trade route. Beer and bread we already have. I'm gonna create a new trade route now. Sinclair to New London, and we're gonna say pigs. Pigs only. In this case, we're gonna need a lot of pigs. And right now, I'm not intending to have the processing on Sinclair. The reason for that is that Sinclair already has a bunch of workers and farmers. And the more industry we add, the more workers we would need here, right? And the more workers, the more upgrades, the more products. It gets complicated. So in this case, at least for now, we can keep it like that. Later on in the game, if we readjust, all I need to do really is switch the icons on the trade route, right? That's all I really need to do if I want to readjust that. One click. That's absolutely fine. That's going to be a lot of pigs coming in now. How many pigs do we have in here? Yeah, we're full on pigs anyway. So we can already go ahead and delete them. There you go. Make available more space again. And also get rid of that pollution penalty that we have. Since we have the workforce, I would also like to add like 33% of the soap production. That's one more for that. And we can also add 2 more sausage makers over here as well, with all the additional pigs that we have been coming in now. Now there would be also the sheep farms. That's a little space, so I'm not gonna touch this for now. What I would like to do is I would like to go ahead with another weapon factory now. That's something over here. And since we have lots of resources, I'm also thinking about upgrading more people now to workers. That would be this whole area. So the whole side of the river. So that city is going places on the other side of the river now too. And then we have these bunches here. Let's go ahead and finish the remaining houses. In my revolting city. Oh, that's not fair. Come on. Ah, yes. Okay, there's some ruins over there. A bit of a riot there. My police should make sure that this doesn't happen. We cannot mobilize them, unfortunately. We have 2 police stations in the area. They're already tackling the problem. And by the way, I have a lot of bricks. It might be time to also... Oh, that's 200? Yeah, 80 tons. There you go. That's easier. To start paving the roads here in the center as well. To make this look more like a proper city in some places. Even though, yeah, burning is not really proper. There we can also upgrade more workers to artisans. Very, very much obliged. We have too many workers anyway. And more farmers over here and here. Very good. One thing we can add and should add right now is something for happiness, and that would be a theater, right? So that is the 6 happiness that we get out of that, and the variety theater we can then simply just, yeah, plop down somewhere. This area originally was planned for my university, but since happiness is more important, I'm inclined to go with it now, and we're basically gonna add some entrances here back and forth, and this is increasing my happiness now to plus 11 already with just one simple building. How very nice. Alright, we can also go ahead and just add some ornaments now. In that case, I'm a huge fan, as always, of the paved roads, of the paved greenery around that, around an area like this. It just looks very organized, I think, and I do like the style of it. You can have then in the inner area, for example, something else. The same we can apply to this area here for sure. Alright, so this is one of those typical areas where I like to use it. The same goes over here to beautify this. But don't forget that this is actually costing me a bit, right? So we should be careful how many of them we use. But for now, that's that. Also, probably some additional decoration in here. Let's throw flowers on the other side too. Oh, that's pretty neat. The dread tree. Yeah, that's a bit dark. Let's not do this. Let's have some trees here in between. Add a bit of greenery as well. And then probably really just some grass here. Slowly but steadily, we should also be working on the tier 3 products that we need for the artisans in order for us to upgrade to engineers and also especially get the terraced artisans in. So for this, we need a bit more workforce. We're looking at 180 obreros right now in Manola, so I'm gonna have another mass upgrading here in the city center. And while we wait for more timber to come in, we could already prepare now my next industry again in my colony. There you go. One of them is this island here, right? We have 100 workforce baseline. That's not so bad, right? Mazayin. And Mazayin is basically gonna be one of my supplier colonies. This island is just really nice. We have the clay and the oil here. Make sure that we take this one into account. We got another oil field down here and one more further down. So I'm gonna use this one here, this one. So these are gonna be railroads, right? We're gonna have them essentially here somewhere coming in, just so that I know where we're gonna have them, all the way then here to the beach area. And what we can also see is there's the clay. We can use this safely in here, and a bit further here there's plenty of open space together with another smaller beach. That's also something I would like to reserve right now for future industry. Don't forget we have pearls here. Perfect. That's something we're gonna need as well if we want to make some real juice here. Look at that, 10,000 on the balance already in episode 4. I like that. Not bad at all. And let's just have a look at this one. Here, we can now have our future fields, right? That is something that we need. We have coffee. We have coffee in Manola. We have this island here available too with coffee. So there's plenty of coffee everywhere here. And by the way, yeah, we could. Let's do it. Let's also take some of my timber and my steel and secure us this island here too. Not like we really can defend it for now. It's just in case we're getting into any war. But at least we got it for now. And this might be my future coffee colony, because you can have big coffee fields here. You can have coffee fields and, ooh, 17 oil fields as well. Might not even be about the coffee. Also think about sugarcane. But coffee is also gonna be really nice over there. Now, for this though, let's start with the cotton. Cotton is something you don't need that much, right? So it's not something where we need to go crazy on them. So I might even, now that I think about it, we might even have them in Manola. The reason for this is with cotton, you can also make the bombings that we're gonna need. There you are. And we also will need the sails for the ships and the airships. So it might actually be wise to have cotton here, especially since we don't need that much of it. Yeah, let's go ahead. This is probably finished here anyway. Let's just make a reserved road over there. And then we could start here now with some fields of cotton, right? So we're gonna have those two. Yeah, let's have them here. I like the idea of it, right? There it is, cotton. And you basically just go ahead and you plant a whole bunch of them, right? As long as you have space. And they don't even need that much space. Like, this is laughable. This is absolutely fine. So that we can just plaster. Probably just need to reserve a bit of space here for these. Oh, that's actually it. There's a bauxite deposit. Gotta make sure that we stay Oh, wait a second. This should be fine. There you go. Then we need to reserve, because I will at some point. I mean, we have 7 bauxite deposits available. I might, yeah, it might be too much anyway, but let's still go ahead and reserve this for us, right? And then we can squeeze in another cotton here, full, and yeah, a bunch more here. But this is already so much cotton here. I don't think we're gonna need it. The one giant field area with the warehouses, and on top of that you could also boost this nicely. Might also just use it with dungs. So that's that. Let's have it. And we still also need some mills, so we do have our smaller industry zone over here that we can expand as well. Let's just also check it out once again. The range is clear, so we're not, you know, interfering. And with that, have us some of those cotton mills along the way. Right, that's already a production of 12 tons now. And with that we have 20 tons of cotton that we can potentially produce now without any additional boosting. They use then the sail makers. So we could already go ahead and start a sail making business over here as well, right? For this we really don't need that much. So I'm thinking about those two. That's already fine, way fine. And what we can also have here then, with the cotton coming in at some point, is the bomb and weaver, right? For this we will already have then also most of the things. So I could also think about some of them. So that's already a production of 8 now that we would have secured here for the bomb bin as well. So the industry zone over here is growing for Manola. And for now though, let's build us the warehouse and let's build us the first 2 cotton mills. That's just gonna be 4 tons of cotton. In addition, we are building the cotton fields. 1,200 is actually not that little, that small of a number for this year, but okay. And with that, we're producing the cotton. The cotton, we could already start now on a trade route, and that's our very first New World trade route. Let's have a looky from Manola all the way now to New London. Yeah, now comes the waypoint. And I'm gonna make it that we use the corridor with Archie and our island, right, where my trade route gets through. This should be the safest passage. And yeah, let's just say 2 times cotton right now. It's not gonna be more than that. And I would like to use one of my clippers. Oh, wait a second. Let's use an old world clipper, because it's gonna take some time for industrials to get over there. And by the time it has arrived, we already have the first cotton in, right? If this one starts now, it would start empty right away. That's not ideal. Also, I would like to make a minimum stock, right? Let's say 20, so that we always have the industry going in Manola whenever we need it. Oh, and by the way, I should really go for the newspaper as well. And yeah, just great that we have at least one positive one for now, all the time. And very good. This is also why we really should use it. Propaganda, Carl really likes that. Does he also like money? He likes money. Very good. We're 42 with him again. Now Arthur is my lowest. Ah, very good. And a bit of money. Perfect, Arthur. You're happy. Trade rights? 160,000 you want for trade rights. You know what? I'm probably gonna accept. Not really because I'm interested in trade rights with you, but the reputation boost you get out of that is pretty nice. And that secures us a bit more down the road. And ooh, Carl will also be ready for a trade one. But he probably will want more money. So I'm gonna wait on that. And let's just check out what Arthur would have to sell.
Does what they be wanting not
He would purchase sewing machines. That's nice. That's good to know. The rest though, what I can see here price-wise, iron ore is rather cheap. That is something we could think about in the future. The cool thing is, if you start trading with them, you also increase your reputation. Let's go ahead and purchase us some 4, or build us some 4 clippers again.
Awaiting new horizons.
And we can also sell 2 clippers again for another 15,000 credits. And that money that we have right now, we might invest. Oh, Beryl, you're already on hard terms with us. Yeah, Arthur. Do this. Another share. Oh, we're pushing so hard right now with the share income. It's 3,000. A third of my income is shares at this point. We are a broker. Now comes something that I want to finally start, and that is the sewing machine production. That would be one of the consumer goods that we have for the artisans, and it's also something that you can produce in high volumes down the road. For this we need more coal though, because up to this point New London relied on charcoal kilns since we don't have coal. So now I need to use one of my other islands that we have, like Eskoping over there, or also Kainfeka, to produce us coal. This island already is urbanized for us, right? And we also have lots of deposits here. That's 3 coal deposits. That's just really nice, and 2 of them are close together down here. I would like to start utilizing them now. Let's go ahead, get us this road all the way over there, and let's have a look for the coal. There is now the workforce bonus that already comes in from our influence bonuses, right? So plus 100, despite having not a single worker resident on this island.
Broke out.
And with that, we can afford now 2 coal mines because they need 50 workers each. They don't really cost me that much when it comes to maintenance. So let's build them. And also very important is that we have a fire station close by, because these like to catch fire, trust me. It's a dirty business, but it's very much needed for New London. So we have the trade rods here. Let's use one of my next clippers on this trade rod. We have the Schnapps trader that is gonna go around with 100 tons of schnapps. That's not much, right? So 50 he can take right now. This is not accurate, right? We have 50 tons maximum capacity. 100 tons is the maximum you can get with the higher trade ships and the boosting. So in this case here, this just basically shows you the maximum from the beginning. We're gonna head and we're gonna take here now also the coal. All right, so this trade road gets a bit more important now for us, and is also starting that. There it is. On its way now, getting us the coal. That's a lot of coal, right? Because 1 coal mine produces every 15 seconds. That's 8 tons of coal we produce right now with those 2 coal mines. Beautiful. That's also not beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful if you like the color red and white, but it's not beautiful for me because it reduces my workforce and my tax income. So let's go ahead and build me also another police station. I think already we will need a prison at some point for these people, because they really don't know how to behave. Alright, it's time to expand the industry area. So this is, at least for now, gonna be one of my industry areas. The cool thing here is that we already have the heavy industry, right? And if I electrify this, we can basically double the output of this area. But for now, what we can also do is have them up here in this cleaner area, more or less, my sewing machine's production now. In that case, it's not pollution, right? And yeah, it's still profiting from electricity quite a bit. And I would like to go ahead and have me some, yeah, we could have easy 2 rows of these here. I'm gonna have them like this, so that we have kind of like a wall that we can still build around that area here. So starting with here, most likely, so that no one goes in, right? That shouldn't go in. Trade union wise, I would really like to have, we can have another one here, but I would really like to have 5 at least here with the boosting and stuff like that. That's a dirty one anyway, so let's move the dirty one a bit to the back. And with that I can afford another one here and another one here most likely, right? Yes, I mean there would be room for another one. We'll just see. This one can go away anyway. We will need that space anyway. Nah, scrap that. Let's have the fur coats up here and move the sewing machines down here. It's just much more efficient down here, right? Because we can have a full whopping 6 of them here. Getting also boosted with the trade union, and on top of that, electricity. This is gonna be really nice, especially we can also have more on that side. Makes more sense to me right now. So let's move this back up there again, and then let's still squeeze in even more here. Because let's face it, we're gonna need a lot of these sewing machines. So there you go. Let's actually upgrade me one of them. The coal is coming in. What we still need here is another source of iron. Up there we can use it for New London. And there's already my warehouse for it. So that's 4 more tons of iron. 8 tons more of coal actually. I could afford 2 furnaces. Let's do this. Let's build 2 furnaces right away. And let's also start with the sewing machine production. 12,000 for one factory is a lot, but it's a nice start. There you go. And this is going to be the beginning of a great new business that we have for the city of New London. Beautiful. Beautiful buildings as well. And I promised I would also like to add some kind of separation here between the two. So we have this nice industrial DLC pack. It's an asset pack that gives you these beautiful red brick walls. And I would like to use that here. So the city of New London extends over here, most likely, and over here. And that's probably then the end for them, right? So here we can now start with some bricks. These brick walls that do extend then to the other side. So here I would like to go like this because I want to reserve a bit more space for my industry zone, right? Just along the road. And let's build it. 5,000 is a bit more than I thought. And these brick walls, well, they make life easier, safer, or at least the children here. And of prying eyes, what I'm doing here with my weapon production, for example. With that, we can separate this a bit clearly. Probably gonna do this here too for this industry zone then, and for this industry zone, right? But for now, that's fine as is. I don't want to overextend my capacities here. Yeah, workforce is fine, so we can once again also go in and upgrade a bunch more, especially here, the artisans. Don't forget we have the artisan service buildings here already, so we should have as many artisans close to these to maximize their efficiency. That would be over here. That's a lot of additional artisans. A lot of additional consumption for artisan goods. And probably on the other side too. Oh, those ruins are still intact. Oh yeah. These people are still not happy. Even though it's such a beautiful sunny day. New London is expanding. That was a lot of groundwork, important one for the future. I'm just waiting for these districts here now to finally burn down. And then we can rebuild that and continue with my next industries. Stay tuned.
A competitor raised a settlement.